Hello, it's Mark Attwood Show, Adventures of the Cosmic Soup. Before I start the show, remember the links in the description. That's where you get on my email list and look at all other sorts of goodies down there. Please remember to do that. I've just come off a strike, 7 days off of YouTube. So also please go to Rumble, Telegram, BitChute and subscribe to those channels, because that's where I put my stuff when I'm not allowed to put it on here. And also the markattwoodshow.com, everything's backed up there, everything. So don't ever say you can't find me, because I'm all over the place. But the email list is the best way of staying in touch. And because, you know, lots of channels have been taken down recently. I got away with a strike this time. I lost a channel last year or the year before, I can't remember. But, you know, censorship is bonkers. So hopefully this one won't get taken down. A couple of weeks ago, I had a great interview with two beautiful, brilliant women in Melbourne, Australia, called the Venus Twins. And the feedback on that video was amazing. So I thought it's time we got them back. Hello, girls. Where are you?
Here we are. Hey. G'day, Mark. How are you? Thanks for
I'm
having
very
us
well.
again.
Yeah, good to see you again.
Woo.
And you're looking very well.
Am I?
Thanks to the sunshine and lovely weather over there compared to ours.
All down to this.
Oh.
Hold on.
What's
What's
that?
That's when I unplugged from the Matrix.
Oh.
No, that's
well, I want one of those buttons.
That's life wave patches. They're amazing.
Ooh.
I'm going to do a show about these because it's like quantum healing. They're brilliant.
Please, yeah, that sounds cool. Very
plus,
cool.
You know, Grander water and Kangen water. I just had a guy around here, who's been in pain for ages, and I said, like, drink this, Asia, put this patch on. Here's a Tesla machine. Go and use this, because he's knackered. You know, his legs gone, and he's a builder.
Yeah.
So I'm becoming a little bit of a healer, not a guru. I don't.
Salesman.
No, that's amazing. People are coming around and saying, "Can you? Have you got anything for this?"
Yeah.
It's like the kids around here. They go, Mark, you know, when weird shit's going on, they go and ask Mark. He knows what's going on. And I'm like, that's weird. And people, this week, I've been out and about. I mean, the reason for the tan is because I was up on the hill of Tara last week making a film, and people just coming up to me going, "Hello, Mark." And I'm like, "Who are you?" What's your YouTube channel? I was like, shit, it's weird.
Just quietly.
Yeah, really no one knows who we are yet. Quite happy with that way.
Yeah.
Well, there are other people that cross the street when they see me. So
goes both ways. Yeah.
Anyway, what you've been busy? What have you been up to? I mean, your thing exploded after our last chat, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did. So thank you so much. Yeah. And we've just launched our Patreon site just a few days ago. So we just thought we'd let your viewers know that we've had quite a few people join, and we're offering weekly exclusive videos with us, plus a monthly live Q&A with the Council of Andromeda, and a monthly draw for people to win psychic readings with us. So yeah, lots of fun.
Well, make sure you send me that link. I'll put it under this video.
Okay, we will. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry, you said that wrong, Claire.
Did I?
Yeah.
What did I say?
You said thank you very much. You should have said thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we were just talking about Elvis, the movie, before we came on. What a film. What an amazing movie. Yeah. That was, I actually left that film and I said to my daughter, that's the best film I've ever seen in my life.
The only bad thing about it is Tom Hanks, obviously.
Yeah.
But what a horrible character. I mean, it's really the devil versus God, that film.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yes, absolutely.
What was that line? What was that line at the end? He's an alien.
Oh, yeah. Oh, really?
What did you not see that line?
And the other part at the start when they said, well, we're sacrificing the real Elvis, and that I just went, what do we got here? So I wonder whether he was an MK'd, you know.
I think we all know Tom Hanks is right. So what was that? Proving to us how brilliant the prosthetics are. I don't know.
Yeah.
But a stunning film. That's a stunning film nonetheless.
Yeah.
Off the subject. How are our Venus brethren?
Well, the tribe are coming out from everywhere, aren't they? We've been meeting So many. And we've got
really cool.
a lot to tell you about that, everything that's happened ever since we did our interview with you. But we have one thing to start with, Mark, which is
we got another letter from the council for you.
A little letter from the council to you.
They like writing to me, don't they?
They do.
Yeah, they do. That's sweet.
So here it is. Dear Mark, it is our sincere pleasure to have the Venus twins on your show again. It is very kind of you to invite them on again, and a special thank you from us. The Council of Andromeda is being offered. So thank you, and keep up the great work for humanity. You are covering a lot of bases with the people you choose to interview, and we couldn't be happier with the cross-section of people you talk with and ask questions of. We feel that your channel is offering the most diverse and interesting content in the world right now. So again, thank you, and a big congratulations to you.
Okay. I'll take that. I'll take that.
There's a galactic thank you. There you go.
Thank you, guys.
And we've also got some information that Georgie's going to start with, and to tell you that we weren't allowed to tell you, but we can now.
It was secret last time for our safety, but this time we can let you know that we are actually from a planet called Zene, and we've been meeting a lot of people that we've been allowed to tell that they are from the planet Zene, because in these readings we're doing, they all want to know where they came from, what their past lives were, how that relates to what they're doing here in the Great Awakening. They're all fairly spiritually awake people that are already on that kind of path, and they've had this real urge to contact us. That was the first thing we asked our guides too, was we said, why did all these people get goosebumps when they heard this interview we did with Mark, and why did they feel the urge to connect with us, which they have done? And our guides said that we spoke key words in that interview that were like a trigger that, you know, almost like when we woke up in the Great Awakening too, that kind of thing. And it was all pre-planned, meant to happen. And we're here to give them their instructions about what's coming next. And it's all about really bringing the collective together, bringing the tribe together, and getting everybody onto that path to create this amazing new world on Earth of healers, healing centers, and all the incredible stuff that lies ahead, and manifesting and creating it and getting it going. And a lot of it's already started, which is really exciting. And we've just found that out through meeting these people too, that some of them are already involved and it's already starting. So we're so excited about that. But we weren't allowed to tell you last time. We were talking about the Council of Andromeda, which it is known as, but it's actually the Council of Zene to us.
Zene.
And that's the planet that we are from originally, and you are also from originally. And all the beings we've met who are from this planet, which is ancient, like you can't look it up, Zene, it was a small planet of very benevolent ancient beings that goes back eons. Our planet was destroyed by the Dracos, by the evil, eons ago, and our ship were the only Zene beings who survived, because God sent us on a mission, a fake mission, which saved our lives. And we should be extinct, but we're still here. So about 1,000 of us.
Wow. Well,
survived.
Have you seen, there's a TV show called The Orville. Have you seen it?
No, but do we need to?
Oh, I watched it. My friend Abby said, you need to watch this. And it's Seth, what's his name? Guy who did no, not him. He's the bad guy. The one who did Family Guy.
Oh, yeah.
Can't remember his surname. But it's a piss take out of Star Trek. And the Orville is the ship, the name of the ship. And I think it was season 1, episode 4 that I watched. And the ship, it's like the Enterprise, right? And it just turns up, and there's this huge ship, like massive ship, and they go inside it, and inside the ship, it's all what I just described to you before this interview. Same thing that I saw in the QHHT session that I did. Inside the ship, it's all rolling hills and rivers and lakes and seas and oceans with a blue sky with lots of lights in it, right? And they go to this farm, and the farmer shoots them and tries to shoot them. And they're like, what's going on? Why are you trying to shoot us? We're trying to help you. We're trying to start your engines up, because if you don't start your engines up, you're going to crash into that star in 6 months and you'll all be dead. And they're like, what are you talking about? And they're like, what do you mean? What are we talking about? Your ship. They're like, what ship? You don't know this is a spaceship? No, they didn't know it was a spaceship. And their engines broke. And they 3 or 4 generations gone by, and they'd completely forgotten their history, and they thought they were on a planet. And then there's a great line at the end where the captain says, "Is this? You telling me this thing's got a sunroof?" He said, "Yeah, open it up." All the people are there, and looking up from their farms with their pitchforks as the roof opens up, and they can see the stars for the first time. And I was like, "Yes, talk about hidden in plain sight."
Yeah, exactly.
It's fantastic, and it's very funny. You should watch it.
Okay.
Oh, good. That sounds like our kind of a movie.
Written it down, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Wow.
Thanks, Mark.
So you are a Zene being originally.
Blue color.
Yes,
Is that right?
And
blue.
we are blue. Yeah, originally blue.
Oh, really? Because I did a past life regression about 2 years ago, and I was blue.
Every person I've met just about who's from Zene, they've all told me before I told them where they're from, they've said to me, I've had visions of blue people.
Yeah.
And I've had a blue being come to me in a vision or a meditation. I'm like,
yeah,
I know where you're from.
But I assumed it was Arcturian.
Well, yeah, there are many possibilities of this blue skin beings, but apparently
I take it all in my stride. And when I did that regression, the name Artemis came to me. I don't know if that means anything.
Cool name. We'll write that down. We'll ask for you, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. What this planet? How do you pronounce it?
Zene, Zenae.
Yeah.
It was destroyed eons ago. We survived on our ship on the Enterprise, about 1,000 of us, and then we became Lyons. We actually
3 Lyons.
Yes.
Yes, it's pre-Lyra. Yes.
I thought Lyons were the oldest souls in the universe.
Well, we are from the beginning of time, apparently.
Okay.
So even further back than that.
Very ancient. Very.
It just keeps getting more interesting.
Very humble.
I think we're looking good on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We scrub up all right, don't we?
We went through the same thing as Lyons, lost our planet to evil because we're targets of the evil ones, because we've always worshipped the one true living God.
Well,
and so we are very connected.
I'm getting the truth bumps. So
oh, I love it when you get them.
Yeah, we're very connected to God. And he takes care of us and protects us, and we work with him. And that's the reason that Claire and I are working with him, because we always have and we always will every lifetime. And because we've been through this loss of our planets too, as Zene beings, we became very humanitarian beings. And as we told you last time, God created the council of, we called it Andromeda, which it is known as, that is correct. But he created the council of Zene then after we lost that planet, Zene. And that was to save other planets from the same fate from then on. And obviously we didn't succeed with Lyra, but we have ever since.
Is that what this bit is about? So
doing that.
The council, I'm just going to get this right. The Council of Andromeda is really known as the Council of Zene. So that was its original name when God created it. And Georgie and I are 2 of the 9 original Zene beings that were the founding members of the Council of Zene. And that was when we began our work with God, saving the other planets from evil takeover. Yes, we've always been in service to others as well in every lifetime. And we've always worshipped and worked with the one true living God of all creation, love, light, and compassion, and his Holy Son, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit. And we basically just said that. So we are looking off our notes, and we're a wee bit tight tonight because we've been up and working. It's kind of late for us nanas. You know?
Yeah, and I did make them wait a couple of hours. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay. We're grateful to be on. It's all good.
Yep.
And the last part was when we fight as warriors in the tunnels, saving all of the beings that are held captive there by evil, we always wear the full armor of God. And we say the armor of God prayer before every battle. And we actually always say it every single day that we work.
As part of our protection, we do. And when we first got that prayer, which was written by Gene Decode, actually, and we used that prayer, The first time I ever said it, because we channeled the message that we needed to start saying it every day, because we are very much targeted by bad entities and stuff all the time. The first time I read it, I got so emotional, I started crying, and I actually had a memory of standing in a circle as the warriors saying it before we went into battle as a group. And I felt really emotional saying it and started to cry. I thought, wow, I know it.
It's a nice way to start the day anyway. It's beautiful, sort of puts your mind in the right space. I love it.
Well, do you want to read it out for us?
Can do.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you're right, George. Smashed it.
Do you want to put the armour of God on?
Yeah. Didn't expect that then. It's fairly long. Don't know whether you want to hear the whole
You might
thing.
need a shin.
I'll read the first bit anyway.
I think everybody watching this would love to hear it.
All right.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's from Ephesians. Putting on the full armour of God, so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the ruler, against the authorities, against the powers of the dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armour of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything, to stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, and pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the saints. That's the first part. Then you go on to say each different part of the armour of God that you put on. So you start with the helmet of salvation, and it's beautiful. It says, "Thank you, Lord, for my salvation. I receive it in a new and fresh way from you, and I declare that nothing can separate me now from the love of Jesus Christ and the place I shall ever have in your kingdom. With this helmet, I also protect my mind and thoughts against the enemy." You can do the next one, Claire.
Do you want to hear the rest of it, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah. The breastplate of righteousness. I wear your righteousness today against all condemnation and corruption. Fit me with your holiness and purity to defend me from all assaults against my heart. The belt of truth. I put on the belt of truth. I choose a lifestyle of honesty and integrity. Show me your truths that I need today, and expose all the lies that I am not even aware of that I may have in my heart, mind, soul, body, and spirit. The shoes of the gospel of peace. I do choose to live and stand for the gospel of the one true living God at all times. And I ask for your peace to rule and reign in my life and heart. Show me how to walk in your light all of the time. The shield of faith. This shield I lift in confidence against every lie, arrow, curses, assaults, and anything else that is not of you, God. Nothing is coming today that can overcome me, because you are with me. The sword of the Spirit. Holy Spirit shows me specifically today the truths of the word of God that I will need to counter the snares of the enemy. Remind me of your words throughout the day. Then pray, Holy Spirit, I agree to walk in step with you in everything, in all prayer, as my spirit communes with you continually day and night.
We're all safe now.
Do you want to hear my version?
Yes. Oh my goodness, you got to be kidding.
It is time to put on the whole armour of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armour of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all,
taking the shield of faith, wherewith you shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit,
Unreal.
which is the word of God.
Wow, that was awesome. Fantastic.
Love it.
That's what I did. What I prepared earlier. That's weird because I got told to make that like nearly 2 years ago.
Oh, nearly 2 years ago you did that. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, it's much more entertaining than
I think we'll just say your version.
I might just play it. It's really warms you up.
Well, that's why I made it, so people can put it on when they're doing the washing up or whatever. And sometimes it's because there's that many affirmations to do now. The whole day prayers, affirmations. It's fucking 3:15 by the time you're ready to go out.
Yeah,
I know. Well, we're going to talk about that too.
Okay.
So we've got some interesting stuff to tell you about. The people that we've met since we've last spoke to you, and all the clients that we've had sessions with. A lot of them have been the 1 hour psychic reading. So we've met all types of people at different missions, and we want to tell you about a few of them, more interesting ones. So we met one person who is the strategist for the actual ship's diamond shape. And this young woman that we've met here, she's only 19 years old actually on Earth, but a very, very highly intelligent young lady. But on the ship, she uses geometry to work out the ship's trajectory and the ship's speed and all of the complex calculations for the ship's motion and speed. She is an extremely brilliant and a super intelligent young person in her life here on Earth, as I just mentioned. We also met the healer strategist on the ship, who helps us work out how to take on the jobs that we do with all the other planets and healing with other planets and all the other and races of beings en masse. So working with populations of beings. Do you want to read that one, George?
We've also come to realise that, just about everybody on the ship has a warrior avatar and fights in the tunnels. We're allowed to say that D word. Got to be careful these days. So almost the entire crew is needed to fight in the tunnels because the tunnels are so extensive, as you know, across planets that we rescue.
Yeah.
The only ones that stay on the ship really are the ones that are actually, flying the ship and operating the ship. The rest all have a warrior avatar and fight. And then they have all their other roles that they play as well. And one of the largest teams on the ship is the rehabilitation of the children and the adult beings that are rescued from the tunnels. And that rehabilitation team is just huge, and it crosses so many things as well. Like they're actually healing them with herbal medicines and things. They're doing counselling, rehabilitation. They're putting them in healing pods. They're doing all kinds of stuff, and then they're rehoming them as well.
Yeah, and that's in itself
across
a job.
The multiverse. So we've met a lot of people that are playing that role, and they're either specialising in the children's side of it or the adult side of it, because there's actually a lot of different types of beings that we rescue on different planets.
Yeah.
I just got to tell you, I had an experience this week where my 12-year-old boy was in hospital here, and my God, that place was so fun. As you were saying that, I was like, I wish I could use that now, because what he had to go through there and what I had to go through there was horrific.
Yeah, I bet it was. I bet it was. So we've also met people, and we met a lovely gentleman in England, actually, an older gentleman, a beautiful man, and he was in charge on the ship of creating all of the spare parts for the ship, and being inorganic and organic, and they're chosen these parts and put together according to their consciousness and suitability to the emotional needs of the ship herself. And his role here on Earth was similar in a way. He was
he had a memory of it too. When he was talking to you and you were telling him what he did, he said, hang on, Claire.
Yeah, he was very emotional when he would have been, in his late 70s, I think, this gentleman. Yeah. Very, very emotional. And their council actually also told him that they were granting him access to be able to direct access to speak to them.
Mm.
So he was
very
overjoyed with
excited.
that.
He had a lot of tears, but he was saying to Claire, "No, Claire, no. It's actually about the consciousness of these parts.
Yeah.
You know, I have to choose them with the consciousness in mind and the emotions and how they're going to soothe and heal and fix the ship on that level." And he knew that in this lifetime. And then council came through and said, "Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. You're remembering what you do." And,
Well, that resonates completely with me, because I told you the vision I had of the ship I can't remember if we've already said this in the show or not, but the ship that I saw in my QHHT was alive, you know. And it's and every time I go past my car, I tap her on the bonnet. "Hello, old girl. How are you?"
do you know, every car I've had in this lifetime has had a name? I've named them all.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Just a weird thing I do, but
No,
now it
I mean,
makes
everything's got a consciousness.
yeah.
Yeah. Jean Deco used to talk about that a lot, about talking to your car. And so we've also met the time travel person, a strategist for the battles underground. Time travel and timeline change work makes us appear out of nowhere in front of the enemy, and this person sends in the right team that has the right weapons for the types of evil beings that we are attacking at the time. So that's also the person we met.
So we use the element of surprise.
Yeah.
We pop up out of nowhere.
So this is all.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. How else are you going to do it? I mean, this is a tough enemy.
Yeah. We've also met. Oh, sorry, I've gone on. We've also met, spiritual advisors to God's army. And these people are counselling those that are in the battles, during the battles, and after, before, during, and after. Excuse me. Yep.
And also, we're finding that we're removing a lot of negative entities from people that we're meeting too in healings. Even doing a Zoom with someone and a reading, we're finding out they've got an entity. I had one person who had an entity, and we did the removal, and she had her dog on her lap sleeping. The dog went nuts, woke up, barked its head off, bolted out of the room, and it was chasing the entity out of the room. That was pretty.
And you know, for people watching this, that's completely real. I had a session about 2 years ago, and I drew this really early on. I'm going to show this to you actually, because he's looking for a piece of paper that's not been written on. This entity came out of me, and it was like a dog without a head.
Oh,
it's really weird. I'm just going to try and draw it.
There's so many different types of entities around in the multiverse, and didn't you say that you met a woman who met one who was half teddy bear, half?
Oh, that wasn't an entity. No,
what was that?
That was a being that was rescued.
Oh, being a rescued.
Okay.
It was black. It was that shape. It was black, and it ran out of me.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I saw it.
You saw it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Maybe it jumped into you in the tunnels.
I don't know where it came from, but yeah.
Glad it's gone.
It did. So, you know, we've all got the power.
Yeah, it's right, and we're able to, quite easily remove these negative attachments. It's not a traumatic experience for our clients at all. Actually, it's quite relaxing and quick. Yeah, but we know how to do it, and it's we get their consent, and then they do a repeat after me. Really, it's like a prayer, and it's done.
Which is great. You're fulfilling your mission.
Yeah. Well, we also met a really fantastic lady who works with researching and building the Enterprise's landing gear and what they call the pads. And she also builds and constructs the tarmacs that the ship lands on. And she's on Earth was very much surrounded by big, heavy machinery in her life. And up there, she travels all over the galaxy and the universe, etc., researching. So this landing gear technology seemed to be of great importance to the ship.
Well, when's it going to land?
Yeah, exactly. Where, hopefully at the MCG, it'd be good.
You can't say when, Mark, because there's no such.
I know.
We're in the now.
I know, it's just annoying.
We've also met a lot of
is.
people who are currently on the path of being a healer in some form or another, and they're going to be doing our course and learning to remove these harmful things. So there'll be a lot of them spread across the world, which is really good news. So there'll be an army of people that are going to be helping to do that across the world. And we've been given many guided mission statements for people. So they've been helped with their new earth businesses by their guides, telling them, you know, or helping them to bring people together in communities in all different types of ways as well, and giving them mission statements and, you know, information about how to set up the business that they're
create it and make it even more interesting and more bringing the community together than it was before. And this is another thing that seems to be happening a lot too. We're getting guided ceremonies being given to certain people, certain key people. I spoke to a lady in New Zealand who needed to receive her ceremony to help release her people's, her country's suppressed spiritual expression over time. And then we met the person who is the actual gatekeeper of Ulleru's heart here in Australia. And he has held the key inside his heart since he was born.
It's not Stephen. It's not Stephen, is it?
No, I'm not allowed to say who it is, unfortunately. To use in ceremony at Uluru to signal to the ancestors to also open their hearts and to set the people free of this great southern land, being Australia, of course.
Well, that's very. Did you see the film I made called Dragon Riding in the Middle of Nowhere?
No, we haven't had time, unfortunately, to see it. Yes,
that was around. I did some dragon riding with Huna Flash, who's a Lemurian king, and that was extraordinary. But then we went to Ishnok, which is the heart chakra, a sacred site in Ireland, and the whole thing was about the heart. The whole film, you know, with the hawthorn trees and which are great for the heart, and it was all about opening up this, unplugging this energy. And you just said about a country with repressed energy.
Yes, that's right. Okay, and it's all about the heart. That's where the is attacking, and they're trying to, especially we've been led to believe that Australia is the center. Uluru is the heart of the entire planet. So
I met someone who was an Indigenous Australian elder in a past life. He didn't come from Australia. He actually came from the UK, but was really drawn to move to Australia. So he did in recent years. Didn't even know why, but just felt this calling to move here. And he is going to be conducting a special ceremony at Uluru to reset the crystal grids of the entire planet back to their original settings so the planet can access its natural power source.
All in a day's work, you know. It's really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We also met the commander of navigation on the ship. So we all depend on him for our safety. And he works out where we're going, how we get there. He even works out how we enter the atmosphere of a planet that can be quite dangerous. We know it's dangerous. And so he works out where we're going in, where we actually stop the ship, you know, where we position the ship in the atmosphere to keep
That's definitely not me.
Mm.
When I was learning to fly, when I was 17, solo over London, and I delayed 7 passenger jets because I got lost. And I had to go through the Heathrow approach path, and all these jets were delayed while this little kid was going back to the airfield. I'm not the navigator. I know that.
Right. That's not that many delayed when you think about how many are coming and going.
Have we worked out what Mark does on the ship yet? Have we found that out?
No, we're going to give him a session we can find out everything.
Yeah, we'll find out.
But also that guy who's the navigation guy, he tells the crew. He's the one who tells the crew to all get into their pods when we're going to go at the speed of sound or the speed of light. When they do that thing with they all meditate and.
Well, the speed of sound's a piece of piss. That's only 700 knots. That's nothing.
Well, then the speed of light when the ship disappears.
Right, we've got to get our speeds right, mate.
Yeah,
we're not up to speed at all with that.
Yeah, get the speed right. Yeah,
the
ship that I saw last year, the way it left, you know, the way it does in Star Trek, like that, it was so fast. It was incredible.
Yeah, we've got to remind everyone we're 2 mums from Melbourne. Australia. This is all very.
We don't know everything about everything.
No, we really don't. So I guess that's what makes us
claim
a little bit more believable, because we're just learning all this too.
Well, Huna has an interesting take. Well, the ancient Lemurians called it the speed of memory.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is
I love
really
that.
super fast. I put it in a poem. Yeah.
Oh, we'd love to hear that.
I'll play it for you in a minute.
Oh, okay. We also got some information too about that that we needed to tell you. It says, please tell Mark that the explosions in the tunnels of South Africa have been a total success. This country is one of the last in the cleanup process on Earth. The enterprise has been very much involved in the demolition of the South African tunnel systems and the rescuing of the last remaining humans down inside these deep, deep tunnel systems. The explosions are high octane explosions that penetrate deep within the Earth's core, so deeply that the Deva kingdom are also involved in helping create these explosions. The fire beings help us with a succession of explosions. And then the council said, they are excellent little people. They are called the USA. YUSA. Yeah, the fire beings.
I mean, sorry, have you seen all these fires that have been going out down in London and down on Salisbury Plain and up in Yorkshire? There've been underground fires going off everywhere in the UK. I've not heard about the ones in South Africa.
Oh, these are deep in the deep underground tunnels. Yeah, they're not anywhere near the surface.
But I mean, it appears to me that a lot of this war is becoming visible now. And
right. Yeah.
I wonder if yeah. Oh, it's my daughter. Yeah, I'm busy. I'm half an hour.
We
talk about the
on
Trump
that
thing?
On that line with the explosions in the tunnels too. We also met the man who is in charge of the demolitions on the ship. Now that would be a cool job. He is an expert at the demolitions, and he had a lot of visions. Before we talked about anything, he told me he'd had a weird vision of a red laser beam, and he was underground in a tunnel, and then everything exploded. And then it turns out he's the demo guy, and he blows everything up. After we've cleaned everything out, he's the one who does the demolition.
Cool job.
Yeah, very cool job.
He loves that. So we had an earthquake here in 2021 in Melbourne, quite a large one, and we just thought, in related to what we were talking about a little bit with the USA, the Deva kingdom. So the earthquake we had here in Australia, this was channeled as well, was actually Mother Earth having a violent reaction to the violence that was going on the surface of the planet. She couldn't take any more violence towards the people of Melbourne by the corrupt government and the corrupt police. And this time last year was when all the big violent protests were happening here in Melbourne. So, yeah, apparently that's what happened.
So that wasn't to do with blowing up tunnels. That was Mother Earth that was reacting.
Having a violent reaction. Yeah.
Well, so she should.
So she should.
It was bad.
We thought we might tell you, it was just for a bit of a diversion here, but we know how much you love Mr. T. But we got asked by our friend who's really clever at asking questions about the sun, and does it have a human incarnation? So that was his question. He's quite a bit of a researcher. And this was do you want to read this one out, George?
No, you can.
All right. So this was the council's response. We believe that the human incarnation of the sun is a man by the name of, we're going to call him Sir T, the ex-president of the United States of America. And they said that because they just wanted to make it clear that, to distinguish between the other fake one. Sir T, as we like to call him, is the human incarnation of the sun. The sun in human form could not have ever been anyone else but him. He is the power. He is the light. He is the powerful force behind the unification of all the star beings with direct contact with those star beings. He is the worldly human incarnation of the sun. The Son of God he is, as all men are, but Sir T is the leader of all humankind. To us, he is the leader of planet Earth, the grand leader of the Earth Alliance, the grand leader of the Alliance on Earth and the star system and the galaxy. Sir T is the sun leader, S-U-N, leader, in more ways than saying he is the incarnation of the sun in human form. So we just thought we'd pass that on to you.
Now, I've heard that before.
Have you?
On
Yes.
our other video.
Was it on the other video?
Yeah,
You
we
did
did
say
say
that.
it. We said it on our last YouTube video we did.
Oh.
No. I mean, I've heard. No, I heard that
Oh,
about
you've heard it from somewhere else.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember where, but it makes sense to me. And I got a huge wave, as you were saying.
Yeah, and he's sort of sun in colour, isn't he? He's
Oh,
yellow.
yeah. This is what, I just want to explain to the viewers. 5 years ago, I thought he was just a celebrity, billionaire, playboy, blah blah blah. And then I've said this story before. I was driving along, listening to him speak on a podcast or something in my car in Marrakesh, and I had to pull over. And it was a deeply spiritual experience I had listening to him. And then I went, oh my God, this guy is not human. He's not. This is amazing, and how do and being a supporter of him over the last 6 years has been really difficult. I got a text from a famous friend of mine. He's very well known, and I was sending him my poems as I was writing them, and he sent me a text saying, "Stop sending me these poems." And I went, "Why?" He said, "You're going down a very dangerous path." And that was one where I talked about Mr. T. I've not spoken to him since.
No, you wouldn't have much to talk about.
Gosh.
So
it's wonderful to hear that, though.
Yeah, we just thought we'd share that one with you. Just thought I'd throw that in there then.
I completely concur with that.
Yeah, it's cool. So we also got some information too from the council about the safety. They wanted to talk about the safety of people at the moment in regard to psychic attacks.
Ah, good, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to go, George?
Common thing. They said, we're giving you this information because people all over the world are noticing how vulnerable they are, especially to psychic attacks of all kinds.
Yeah.
We are seeing this happen all over the planet, and it is increasing by the day. People are waking up with injuries after being actually physically attacked in their sleep by evil entities. Yeah. We've had that happen. Also, we are seeing people that have had many negative attachments in their auric fields, causing them all sorts of trouble. And we would like to get this information out and how they can prevent this from happening to them. So this is how to protect yourselves. It's important to have a deep sense of faith in God and to stop believing in the end of this world in any way. The moment you have a negatively charged thought, like being in a state of fear, is when these entities latch onto you. So the intention to set for your day is very important. To start your day by thanking God for being here now and giving praise to him for allowing you to be here on earth at this pivotal time in Earth's history. Yeah.
So it's also important. This is all channeled, by the way. It's also, of course, yeah.
I just want to butt in. A friend of mine's brother committed suicide recently. Some other people that I know have been suicidal, having these mad suicidal thoughts. And I just wanted to say to the viewers, if you feel like that, do what these wonderful women are saying. Do the affirmations that Ian Welch has put out. Do these things. Take the time. I've been there myself, and it's hell. I know it is. But please hang on, because we're going to get through this together.
Well said, and very timely. I agree.
Absolutely true.
Thanks. Yeah, it's pretty hard for some people. A lot of people are at their wits' end. They really are.
Yeah, I know.
So the council has given more suggestions and reassurance. So it's also important to protect yourself with your thoughts. Just the thoughts are all that is necessary to protect yourself. The intention and then your thoughts are important. So check in with the way you are reacting and thinking about issues in your life. Instead of being fearful, try and be grateful. It changes the timeline instantly. And this is where what we are talking about. So prayers and smudging and crystals and all the rest are terrific. They said, if you have created a negative attachment. But in your daily lives, all you have to do is stay present and practice gratefulness and gratitude for being here and having breath in your body and blood in your veins. That's it, they said. There's no need for daily protection prayers and invocations unless you are a practicing psychic channeler, because we're more open to exploring consciousness and therefore open to more psychic attacks. And we also have protection, aided protection, because of our protectors that we've talked about. But we still have to do extra work. So there is another way that we'd like to show your viewers and yourself about how to stay in the now, which comes very naturally to some people, but for some people it doesn't. And they're kind of missing the point with a lot of their work because they're not really sure about how to stay in the now. And it's a simple way, and it's about bringing your awareness from up from the head and the incoming programs, all the unhealed baggage that's coming in,
the ego
and all of that, and bringing your awareness down to the base of your spine. And it's done with the breathing technique, just in through the nose and out through the mouth, visualizing a golden ball coming down all the way to the base of your spine or anywhere underneath that. Yeah. And that's how you get into the flow. That's how you get into the quantum flow. Quantum body.
Yeah, we do this daily, and it really helps to live in a state of flow rather than being fearful, being prone to all the programming around us and to our ego mind as well. Yeah. It really helps you to deal with any situation that's difficult. You can just simply do this breathing in through your nose, gently blowing out through your mouth, and just imagine your awareness going down to the base of your spine and hold it there at the base of your spine. And it can really change things for you because you're getting into the quantum field of energy, which is the new energy of the planet. And quantum is cellular, and it's just getting into source energy, the field of all possibility.
Limitless possibilities.
Becoming whole again rather than being separate and being in this racing mind that we all have that's bombarding us with so much stuff.
Yeah.
It calms you and just puts you into a state of flow. And it's a really valuable tool to do this. And Claire and I have been doing a course on this that's really amazing. And we've been working with quite a few clients with it too, and it really helps them. It also helps you to transform programs because we're all full of programs, and it helps you to transform millions in seconds.
Yeah, well, the most powerful thing I've ever done in my life was breathing in a forest with this breathing, and it was more powerful than ayahuasca, peyote, acid, everything. It was like just breathe, and I was gone for hours, and it just cleared everything. So breathing is super.
That must have been it.
Yeah.
You were there.
If you did any form of grounding, like someone I met this week too also said to me that he was taught by someone how to meditate and how to breathe, and she gave him some visualizations, but part of it was that he had to imagine the blades of grass underneath him where he was sitting and really, connect with those. And that got him into the quantum field because he was down at the base, taking his awareness to the base. And he got into the quantum field, and then he connected with his higher self. He connected with his original being. He found out his name, his spiritual name. Yeah. All sorts of information came flowing into him because he was in that quantum state, which connects you to everything. So it's an amazing thing to do.
Really good space to connect with your higher self as well.
Yep.
And increase your clairvoyance. It's really cool. It's really exciting. It feels really good too. Really. And it's really easy and it's really quick to do. So, it's
all the best things are.
Pardon?
All the best things are.
Yeah,
that's right.
So true.
That's it. So what else could we talk to you about? Oh, there's just so many things. We did have some information about Aurora. Would you like us to tell you a bit about the new Earth and her name?
Yes, please.
And we do have a picture of her as well.
Have you seen anything you think might look like another sun in the sky lately, Mark?
Interesting you say that. I posted a thing on Telegram this morning with a new crop circle down in Wiltshire, which looks like two suns on a planet. I'll just dig it out actually because it's.
Oh, wow. Well, this is a photo that was sent to us by one of our viewers. Oh,
Twist it so the light's not on it.
Are you
God, I
going for
can't
that?
do it.
It goes the opposite direction. It's quite difficult. Yeah.
I feel like I'm.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh, just saw it then.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can
Okay,
see.
so that was taken in Melbourne.
Oh yeah. I can see the two now.
In the afternoon. No, there's only one. There's
Was
only
there?
one.
I saw one above it. Okay.
It was taken in Melbourne. Oh, that's really hard to do that.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
It's like an illusion. Oh,
That's it. You can see it now.
okay.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So that's not the sun and that's not the moon. So anyway, it was taken around 2:00 in the afternoon, and this client of mine sent that in. So we did a channeling on it,
and we've seen it too.
Yeah,
I've stood there and stared out my window and thought, I'm looking at the sun, but it's really easy to look at it. What's going on? I was
there's
half asleep.
no like light sort of emanating really from it, and it wasn't the moon either. So anyway, this is what they said. So the planet of Aurora, which is the 5D Earth, is being seen much more frequently now in the skies of Earth and being mistaken as the sun. She doesn't shine as brightly as the sun does, so that hints at the difference when awake humans see her. The seeing of Aurora is a gift from God to help in your ascension. Aurora is a planet that can only hold humans of a higher density than 5D, so 5D or higher. The planet herself is a highly evolved planet. She is sister to Gaia, a loving sister born recently. However, her consciousness is eons old. So yes, she is new in a human sense. She incarnated starting around 2017, and it was glorious. It was a sight to behold. It was an explosion of 1 trillion stars that created Aurora. The angels sang in harmony again, and when they do this, the birthing pains are lessened, and the experience of being born is an angelic delivery. The gift Aurora is to the universe and the multiverse is so extraordinary, it's difficult to even explain in words, because to actually understand the beauty of her, you have to hear the vibration she emits and feel that within your cells. Then, only then, can you incarnate there. This is the ascension in a nutshell. So to hear Aurora, listen to your own heartbeat and then breathe down to the base of your spine and you'll get an idea of her vibration. Aurora is a planet of love and blessed harmony. Everyone who incarnates there is of a high frequency, but the time you spend on Aurora is much longer than the time you spend on Earth. A lifetime on Aurora will be around 800 to 1,000 years.
Yeah, I've been getting that 800 years thing myself. Have a look at this.
Oh. Yeah.
This was yesterday.
Wow. What's that on the smaller one? Looks very much. Gosh, that's so beautiful.
I know. What's this?
Yes, exactly. It feels very much like it, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, it gives me the shivers, that one.
And I kind of get that the big ones are maybe Gaia splitting into the different realms, because that's what we're being told too, that on Gaia there will still be the third dimension, and some people will choose to stay there and live out that NWO timeline.
Yeah.
And others will keep on ascending, and so they'll go to the fourth and the fifth. And in those realms is where all these healing centers and Nasara Jasara and all these amazing things that we're creating are going to be, and where all the Venusians are bringing, you know, that beautiful healing side that we've set up on Venus to Gaia, to Earth. So that's what I get when I see that.
I think it's
and then the
beautiful,
other smaller one is the new Earth, Aurora.
Yeah.
And apparently you go to Aurora I think you have to be chosen by God to go, but you also have to have been in service to others in every lifetime. And basically, we're living every lifetime now. Yeah. Because everything's simultaneous. We're multidimensional. We're living it all now. There's not the things that we call our past lives are not really in the past. They're kind of all happening.
All happening now.
And so we're either in service to others or we're in service to self. And that's what is the deciding factor.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
Yeah. And also the process of ascending too, they were explaining to us, is all about getting into that quantum field, becoming the quantum body.
My daughter's at the window going like this.
Yeah, I've got a daughter the same.
She wants a lift. She wants a lift somewhere.
That's okay. Well, we can finish up.
Yeah,
it's fine. We've had a lovely chat. We won't take
it's great. Yeah, I'm just like, I've got a house full of kids and I've got to go be here, be there, be there.
Yeah, we understand.
We've got to go to bed. It's late.
Yes, you have. You have. I'm sorry to keep you up so late.
We were actually up at 5 a.m. today. We've been busy bees.
I know you're doing great stuff, and there's some wonderful things in what you've said today. And we'll get you back again in a couple of weeks if you can spare the time. Because this story's just evolving, and it's just too much. It's too much fun. It's too interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, well, let's do a private one for you too in between.
Cool. Yeah, we'll set that up. We'll set that up.
Please do. Please do.
Sorry to keep you up so late. Have a lovely weekend.
That's all right. Okay. We used to stay up this late when, a few years
back
ago.
In the old days.
Back in the old days. It's all happening at the same time.
I know.
Yeah, that's it.
You are still staying up late.
Yeah.
Wonderful to see you both.
Thanks so
much.
You
too. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, well, you take it easy. I'll see you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Enjoy the sun.
Bye, everyone. Well.
Yeah.